Good morning. I'm Dr. George Veale, and my wife, Mary Alice, and I are co-chairmen for the Alabama Kidney Foundation fundraising, and we're going to have our fun run in April. And we'd also like you to meet a friend of ours, Bob Hughes, who has been a banker in our area for about 38 years, who is also a patient with chronic kidney disease. Who can give you some serious insight into how this disease works. Before I start, I'd like to give you some ideas about kidney disease. Kidney disease is usually caused by two disease entities, and that's diabetes and high blood pressure. And these often, in most cases, lead to kidney disease. 400,000 Alabamians are walking around today unaware that they have kidney disease, which might go to stage 4 kidney disease, which means they would have to go to dialysis. There's 1 in 8 Americans will have kidney disease sometime in their life. So I'd like to let you meet Bob and ask him some questions and let him share his insight into this disease of kidney failure. Bob, how long do you think you've had kidney disease?
Well, it goes back to the very beginning. I would say probably I've had the disease for 4 or 5 years, unbeknown to me. And within the last year is when the real crisis came. That's when I lost my left kidney because of, I guess, not knowing how much damage the blood pressure and diabetes has done to me. But anyway, that's what happened. The thing that happened to me is the kidney seemed to get worse, and finally I lost it. And there was one kidney left, and that was the right kidney. And the right kidney, of course, based upon medical knowledge and so forth, they thought he was going to be able to carry the whole load, but it turned out it couldn't. Therefore, I had to turn to something else. Unbeknown to me, there was a treatment called diabetes, dialysis that you take for diabetes, And in doing so, you really are dependent upon that to live. And once you find out about it, of course, it's quite expensive, but it's also unbeknown to a lot of people because it's just not been advertised. I didn't know about it until I found that I had to do something, and that something was to try to live or not. And I wanted to live, therefore I took dialysis. I've been on it about a year, and it's every other day. And of course, when you do something that often, that continuous, it's expensive. And of course, when you don't have the insurance or don't have the wherewith to cover it, you have to turn somewhere. And that we turned to dialysis. And because of that, I'm here, I guess.
Tell me how your life changed after you started dialysis.
Well, it just completely changed because you can't hardly do it just by yourself. You have to have a partner. If your wife is the kind that will take care of you, I happen to be fortunate and have a wife of that sort, and I'm blessed because of it. And I really think that a lot of people find out that they're sick and don't have any way to turn. Well, if you don't have that, you've got to turn to something. You've got to either go to a nursing home or you've got to go somewhere for treatment. And that really is nowadays the best method, or the only method really, to keep you alive. In my case, I've been very fortunate, but I'll tell you, I get a lot of requests for gifts from different things, the Heart Fund, the Cancer Fund. I either name probably 25 or 50. But I'll tell you what, you never know exactly where that contribution or where your time's going unless you know the people that headed up. And in this case, Dr. Veale and his wife Mary Alice, I tell you, as long as I know who is in charge and who's involved with it, I feel free to say, okay, let's go and do all we can for them, because, you know, you want to know what you're spending your money on. Let's face it, we operate, everyone has to have a survival. And the survival that you just mentioned a while ago changes. You don't want to look at it as a half a man, but when you get right down to it, if you don't have help, you are half a man.
There's a psychological side
And that's the psychological side of it. And
depression.
I guess, Freddie, if I can say anything to the public, let's say this. I'm here because of things of the sort that we're going through here now. The Kidney Foundation is not even in existence. We're trying to get it going. And we're trying to get an organization going where the money goes straight to help the people that need help. And so many times people are involved with this disease and don't even know it until it's too late.
That's right.
And those are the kind of things that the Kidney Foundation is aimed to do, and that's my understanding, and I plan to be a part of it and recommend anyone else that can to help.
Well, you know, we have a state kidney foundation. It has district offices in regional areas and such like that. We have our own Wiregrass Foundation here, and the monies that we raise in this area go to this area. I was an interventional radiologist, and I also took care of the people who had dialysis, who have fistulas, which is the way they access the blood to exchange it. And those people often had to struggle even to have money or somebody to take them to the dialysis or to the procedures. And a lot of times they just couldn't come because they just couldn't find anybody to take them, or money's there, or to pay for medications, et cetera, like that. And education, of course, is a big part of the foundation too. So the monies that we do raise tends to stay in this area. Let me ask you, what would you tell your friends and the viewers here today? What would you say to them regarding kidney disease?
Well, I think if I had to do over again, I would, of course, hindsight is always better than foresight. But if I had to advise someone, I said, look, have a regular physical. Try to be sure that you have your blood pressure and your diabetes under control. Sometimes, well, for example, in my case, no one in my family has ever had kidney disease that I know about. Very little sickness as far as kidney disease is concerned of anyone I've ever known. But I mentioned from a while ago about the man I wanted to make an example of is he took it the whole time he was living and was able to live a normal life. He was, by the way, a sheriff of a municipality. And he was a well-respected individual, but his son came along and his wife died and he had no one to help him. Now, I don't know whether he would have been able to get help from the Kidney Foundation or not, but I believe if he had proven his situation that I know about, I think they would have helped him. Now the point I'm trying to get to is this: why should you spend your time and wherewith to try to get the Kidney Foundation going? Well, number one, it's a very worthy cause. I'm here to tell you I'm here because of it. And not the Kidney Foundation, but the part that the Kidney Foundation is going to play. If it plays the part that I think it's going to play, that I want it to play, is it'll prevent some of the problems that I might have had. Now the other thing is, you know, we all spend our time and efforts either in fun, helping someone, or making it through life some other way. Now, we don't know what the other half lives like until you see the other half. And having been in this dialysis for a year, it's really opened my eyes because when I went there, I walked in and they took me to the machine and did what they were supposed to do to give me the treatment. I looked around, there was a guy on my left who had no legs. A woman comes in on a wheelchair and has no legs. Another lady comes in, she's on a rollaway bed. And I guess really I'm forced to, because I did get to mine fairly early, and if people will just pay attention to what we're trying to sell, and we're not selling anything, we're trying to provide something that's good for people that even don't know they have it. And if you can get started, suppose that you had we have people at the clinic now that come in, and I see young girls or young boys that are probably in their early teens taking this dialysis. Somebody's providing that. Well, if that person doesn't have a wherewith to their mother or dad, or in the case of an early marriage, you know, the other half of the world don't live like some do.
That's right.
And what we're trying to do is provide an organization here that will pick up the slack. If I use that expression, and picking up the slack means if you can't get help and you deserve it, go get it.
Well, thank you, Bob. I think you've given us a very heartfelt talk about how it's been for you and how it is for others. And I think the thing to take away from this conversation is, number one, is early screening can prevent some kidney diseases, and a majority of them. If you can maintain your blood pressure correctly and take care of your diabetes, you may not be in a kidney failure situation down the line. And you need to have 6-month, 12-month follow-ups and such like that with your doctor to make sure that you don't have those problems. You know if you've got diabetes, and if you do, then you need to make sure that you take care of it. Secondly, I think that what Bob is alluding to is the fact that so many people struggle with this process beyond the normal life. I mean, the dependency on others, the financial side of it, and frankly, the depression that goes with it. And I think that this foundation is an area that helps do all three. And I think what we need is help from you. We need help from you as a person who can give to the foundation, because the monies that are raised are spent in our Wiregrass area. And it's not administrative costs, et cetera, and stuff like that. And having taken care of these patients, they're the most grateful people that I've ever dealt with. They really appreciate it because you're keeping them alive. And these are people that need help. And we've been blessed in a lot of ways in our lives. And this is an opportunity to give back and to take care of somebody who's not as fortunate as us. So I'm going to leave it with the fact that we are going to send out letters, et cetera, and I'd like for you to be aware of them when they come. And if you feel that you'd like to, I'd love for you to donate to the Kidney Foundation. We also have a fundraiser that will be April 22nd at Westgate Park called the Kidney Walk /5K Run. And in those letters, you'll be able to sign up for that. But if you do, you can just call the Wiregrass Kidney Foundation, and they can help you get in touch with somebody who can form your team, etc., and stuff like that. I'd like to thank Bob for being with us today, and I appreciate your time also. Thank you.